Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We'll start today's event with an introduction from BC Liberal candidate for North Vancouver Seymour, Jane Thornthwaite, and then go to BC Liberal leader Andrew Wilkinson for an announcement. We have time today for one question and one follow-up from each reporter. Thanks. Jane, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much, Carly. Welcome, everyone, to North Vancouver. I'm so excited to have this fantastic announcement. Here we are at Behaven Childcare Centres, right in the heart of North Vancouver. And I'd like to introduce our leader, Andrew Wilkinson, the next Premier of British Columbia, to North Vancouver. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you. And thanks to all the kids and the instructors here at Behaven. They're putting feathers on turkeys today. Is that right, kids? Yeah. Yeah, cool. So we're here to talk about childcare today. And the wonder of this centre is that it's a fully funded, exciting, safe, well-staffed place where kids can enjoy growing up and learning about Thanksgiving. We heard it was Valentine's Day, but we kind of sorted that out. So we've now got the turkeys getting covered in feathers. We're now in the midst of an unnecessary election called by John Horgan for his own interest. And we've learned that the NDP really cannot be trusted in this election to tell the truth. They have no plan, no vision for this province, and we're in the process of putting out a bold plan to make British Columbia a better place for everyone. We've proposed some very important measures, like abolishing provincial sales tax for a year and then reducing it to 3% in the second year, to give everybody an extra bit of cash, an extra $1,700 in the pockets of an average family. We said we'll immediately rebuild or build the Massey Tunnel Replacement Bridge to get BC moving again. We'll end the ICBC monopoly. We'll improve street-level services to reduce crime and get mental health issues into the mental health system rather than into the criminal justice system. We'll help seniors to age in place by providing tax credits so they can continue to live in their own home as long as possible. We'll eliminate small business tax and provide bridge financing for a tourism and hospitality sector so that they can survive into 2021. And we're going to be talking today about daycare. I think we all know that the NDP last time around announced there'd be $10 a day daycare. That was a promise they promptly broke by saying it was just a slogan. The only $10 a day daycare in British Columbia right now is a federal pilot program that provides 2,000 spaces out of a total of 100,000 spaces in BC. So it's yet another broken promise from the NDP. We know that this pandemic has hit lower income families especially hard. The statistics say that women in lower income brackets in smaller companies are the ones who are hardest hit by the pandemic, and we now have 11% unemployment in Greater Vancouver, and it's hitting a lot of people very hard, and they're trying to find work. And getting back to work requires childcare. So women particularly will be hit by this pandemic in a disproportionately heavy way. And we've got to get affordable daycare so that people can actually afford to go back to work. Our goal is to provide real supported daycare for British Columbians. And what we're announcing today is daycare that will be $10 a day for every family with a household income under $65,000, $20 a day for every family up to $90,000, and $30 a day for every family up to $125,000 a year of family income. This is real. This is not a slogan. This is an opportunity. Because when we say we'll do things, we do them, like building hospitals and bridges and providing services for British Columbians. No more empty promises from the NDP. We will deliver affordable daycare for British Columbians. Along with our exemption from provincial sales tax, this will provide an average family with a huge boost. They've suddenly got $1,700 in their pockets from the sales tax exemption, and now they've got affordable daycare, which means there's the chance to get back to work. We know unemployment's high right now, with hotels, theaters, restaurants, airlines all shut down. And what we've got to do is when the opportunity arises to get people back to work, they've got to have affordable daycare to be able to go to work. It doesn't work if there's a job but you can't afford to take care of your children, like these lovely kids here at Behaven. A similar subsidized program in Quebec has turned out to be a net winner. The return of people to the workforce with affordable daycare means that revenues rise for government because more people are out in the economy, more people are able to earn a living. It's good for everybody. And that's why we're committed to making this a success in British Columbia. So we will deliver $10 a day daycare for every family with an income less than $65,000. We will deliver $20 a day daycare for every family with an income less than $90,000. And we will deliver $30 a day daycare for every family with an income up to $125,000. It's the right thing to do. It'll build our economy, create opportunity, and it means that BC can get back on its feet. This is part of our program to restore confidence and rebuild BC, and this is urgent. We've heard the unemployment figures, and people are still in distress. Tens of thousands of people are receiving federal payments because they can't work. We've got to get ready for the post-pandemic world, and that's exactly what we want to do here. This is an exciting opportunity for British Columbia. It's not going to be cheap, but it's an investment in our future so that these kids and every other kid in British Columbia can have a safe, friendly, happy daycare situation that their parents can rely upon. So with that, I'm happy to take questions and look forward to hearing from you.
Great, thanks, Andrew. We will go to the first question from Richard Sussman, Global News. Go ahead, Richard.
Andrew, you keep saying that, you'll get this done, you will do this, but people will look at the Liberal record, especially during Christy Clark's time, and they will see prices going up for childcare, wait lists escalating to the point where people were putting unborn children on lists and still couldn't get spaces in Metro Vancouver. Why should people believe you that now is different?
Because we're now investing in British Columbians for the future. And we will also be introducing a single online application system for government-funded daycares so that parents don't have to scramble around and make dozens of applications, so that providers like Behaven don't have to scramble around making endless phone calls to figure out who's still on a wait list. We need a proper application system for daycare, and government-funded daycare should be readily accessible, just like higher education is on a single application system. That's what we're holding out for British Columbians, is the chance for affordable, reliable daycare so that everybody has a chance to get back to work.
Do you have a follow-up, Richard?
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this list, considering how will you ensure that people get spots in their neighborhoods? Because as you know, there are some neighborhoods that are growing much more quickly than others with children. How will they ensure that there are spaces close to the school their other child goes to, or after school care? I don't understand how a list works when people have different needs based on work and other children and things like that.
Well, what we face right now is a scramble for daycare applications for both providers and for parents. You've all heard stories of people making desperate applications in dozens of different locations and constantly phoning for updates. That's not necessary. We can do better, just like we did in advanced education with 435,000 students who all use BC Ed Planner to make their applications for higher education. We can do the same thing for daycare, and that will be the future that we need to get people back to work.
Great, thanks. We'll go to the next question from Tim Ford from Victoria Buzz. Go ahead, Tim.
Morning, Andrew. Just a very simple, straightforward question. How close would you say your party is at this point to releasing your full, detailed platform?
We've put the final touches on our platform, and we expect to have it out in the next few days. It's going to be exciting, and it'll, I think, get people really fired up about the idea that British Columbia can be a better place, that we have a bold plan to bring British Columbia back to work and rebuild BC.
Do you have a follow-up, Tim?
No, thank you.
Great. We'll go to the next question from Binder Sajan, CTV. Go ahead, Binder.
Hi, Andrew. We know the NDP's plan is a 10-year plan. How long do you think it will take to implement this plan?
I think we're all getting tired of hearing about 10-year NDP plans that never come to anything. 10-year housing plans that have come to nothing. 10-year daycare plans that come to nothing. 10-year hospital plans that come to nothing. I think people are getting pretty jaded about 10-year plans from the NDP that turn out to be just nothing more than slogans. So this plan needs to be implemented during the COVID pandemic. It's a matter of providing those supports and subsidies to daycares and parents so they can get back to work. This is urgent, and the money can be found. It's not going to be cheap, but it's critical to the future of our province to get all of these parents back in the workforce, if they want to be in the workforce, by providing them with the daycare that they need.
Do you have a follow-up, Binder?
I do, and this is on a different topic. Vancouver City Council just approved last night $30 million for emergency housing for the homeless, and they also say that they need help from senior levels of government. They expect millions from the federal government within weeks, but in terms of the province, if you were elected, what immediate relief would you provide to the City of Vancouver?
In terms of homelessness, we talk about treating the causes. Every day I go for exercise in the morning, and there are 2 or 3 old motorhomes in the park near my house. Those people have simply run out of money. They need rent supplements to get them back into the housing market. We need more affordable housing. Other people are suffering from mental illness. They need to be treated for their mental illness and provided the service they need in a healthcare setting. So it varies depending on the cause. And when we hear Vancouver City Council saying it's going to buy up some more hotels and scoop people off the streets, that's exactly what the NDP have been doing in both Vancouver and Victoria, and it has not worked. It has led to more distress, more trouble on the street, and more difficulties, as we saw in Victoria just yesterday.
Thank you. We have time for a few more questions. We'll go next to Andrew McLeod from the Tyee. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, hi, Andrew. I had a question related to your PST promise. One of the responses from economists was that even better would be to take the tax off of business inputs permanently, so more of a value-added tax, or something like what the HST was like. And I was wondering if that's something that's on the table at all.
Well, elaborate tax reform is probably not something you want to entertain during a crisis. People need answers right now. What people need is to know where they're going and to know how they'll be saving money. And eliminating the provincial sales tax immediately on taking office means every average family gets $1,721 in their pockets that they otherwise have to provide in taxes. It's also a tax that is most helpful to people at the lower income scale because they have to spend more of their money on provincial sales tax. Under a BC Liberal government, that tax will stop and go to zero.
You have a follow-up, Andrew?
Yeah, that's quite clear on the policy you announced, but in terms of looking at a broader reform, why not do that?
Well, elaborate tax reform takes time, and it's not a priority for any party right now. What we need is to have relief from taxation to put more money in people's pockets. Eliminating the PST immediately does that immediately, so people can see that everything's on sale, people can invest in themselves and their family, and particularly businesses can start to rebuild themselves, build more facilities, buy the lumber that's needed to do it, get out there and buy the vehicles that are needed to operate the business, and save the PST on every single one of them.
Thank you. We have time for one more question today, and that will go to Katie DeRosa from the Times Colonist. Go ahead, Katie.
Hi, Andrew. You said that the plan will not be cheap for the daycare plan. What's the cost?
The estimate is that this is a $1 billion proposition to provide daycare for every family in British Columbia that has trouble affording daycare, so it'll be $10 a day for families with an income under $65,000, $20 a day for families under $90,000, and $30 a day for families under $125,000. This is instant relief for people in distress with their finances, so they can wake up in the morning and say, we can do it, we can get back to work, we can afford it. There's no PST. Let's get on with our lives. That's the feeling we need to restore confidence and rebuild BC right now.
You have a follow-up, Katie?
Yes. First, can you say $1 billion over how many years? And also, is this not just a mashup of the NDP's $10 daycare plan with the Greens, preference that it's income tested?
Well, the NDP and the Greens have a record of talking a lot about daycare and delivering very little. So we're concerned that this has to be very precise, immediate, and it's a $1 billion price tag in the first year. It's an investment in British Columbia to get our $250 billion economy moving again, because we have to give people the chance to get back to work. We've got to restore people's confidence in themselves and in our province, and let's rebuild BC together.
Great. Thanks so much. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks, everyone, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.